This video is part 2 of my Femboy Tips video series where I give you guys tips to help you guys on your own femboy journey. And once again, I'll be starting with tip number 5, which is something that has saved me a good amount of time, insanity. Then going all the way to tip number 1, which is very basic, but is something that actually helped me grow my thighs, ass, and legs. So let's get into it. Now, the first tip is going to involve organization and how you can actually organize your femboy clothes. Now, if you have to hide your clothes, then it's going to be a little bit more complicated than that, but I couldn't resist adding this to my tips video. And the tip is to just use these. If you don't know what these are basically just general organization boxes. I actually originally got these to store my ties. As you can see here, I have a box full of my ties. I also have some socks here. But then from using these, I got the idea of why not just use them for thigh highs? And that is exactly what I've done. I've organized all of my thigh highs into these, and I've also organized a lot of other clothing like my panties and arm warmers. And these were honestly pretty cheap, but they were still a huge upgrade. In my last video, how to become a femboy in 10 minutes, I actually said that I used to store my femboy clothes all in just 2 bags. I was actually wrong. I re-remembered and it was 3 bags. I had 1 bag for all my clothes, 1 bag for all my accessories, and then I had 1 bag for only thigh highs. And it was terrible because I would have to rummage through this bag to find the thigh highs that I wanted, and they got all jumbled up and it was a mess. It's basically the same thing as if you were to store them in like a drawer like this, and it was just a complete mess. But with these, it is so much better. I also love organizing and having like everything completely organized and looking nice, so it really hits the spot when I come over here and see my collection of thigh highs. Now, tip number 4 is going to be about my hair and how you can maybe improve your hair. I've gotten so many questions, a lot on stream, of how I actually style my hair and what I use, and I actually am going to be making a video in the future where I give you everything I do for my hair. But just for the sake of keeping this video short, I'll give you one tip, and that is to use texturing powder. Now, obviously everyone has their own preference for what hair they want, and everyone's hair is different, but I do know that a common hairstyle that people like is like a messy type of hairstyle. You guys have seen the pictures of like the silly femboys with their black messy hair, but one thing that's very distinct about that hairstyle is that the hair is extremely textured, and there's a few ways that you can achieve texturing, and I will be telling you guys about texturing powder, which is what I use to texture my hair. It's really simple. You basically just either put some powder in your hand or you directly put it on your head and you just sort of ruffle it around everywhere and it should texture it. These are honestly not too expensive and you should try it out. Now, this next tip is going to be for you femboys that take pictures. I think this tip can give you the most amount of benefit for the least amount of effort. The tip is just to quite simply wipe your phone camera with a microfiber cloth. It's extremely simple, but your phone camera gets dirty very quickly, and it is night and day the quality of your pictures. The easiest way to completely screw up a photo is to just not even wipe your phone screen. As you can see here, this is what my camera looks like without wiping it after just having it in my pocket for like a day. And then this is literally 5 seconds after wiping it. It's completely different. And honestly, you don't even need a microfiber cloth. This just works with any material that like isn't really rough. If you have like a soft fabric, soft cotton, or anything like that, then it should work perfectly fine. So this next tip is very important, and I actually mentioned it in my last video, but statistically less than 20% of the people that even watched that video got far enough to see this tip. And I thought it was important enough to actually add it into its own Femboy Tips video. And it is basically to just block creeps. I know you may be desperate for friends and accepting all DMs, but if someone's immediately right out of the gate being creepy and like asking for pics or just asking really weird questions, then just block them and move on. Like I said before, I've seen so many cases where people are desperate to talk to someone, and because of that, they'll just keep talking to a creep and let them get away with so much when their behavior is not okay. Now, if it's just like a friend acting weird out of nowhere, then, you know, it's probably don't block them. But if it's just like some random person that just started messaging you and they're automatically being creepy, just cut it off. And now for the number 1 tip, you need to do squats. Squats are the number 1 thing that you need to be doing if you want to build a bigger ass and bigger thighs. And once again, I am going to be making a separate feminine workout, diet, and fitness video, but that is a very large project and it's going to take a lot of time, and I don't want to leave you guys high and dry. So what I will tell you is to do squats. Squats will build your ass, your quads, which are your thighs, and just about everything that you want. And there are a few things that you need to make sure you're doing just to get the most out of them. The first thing that you need to make sure of is that you're going down far enough. Generally, the target is to have your femur parallel with the floor. It may feel uncomfortable at first, and you're definitely gonna need to experiment with different stances to perfect your squat form. And the next thing is intensity and rep range. So generally, for muscle growth, you're going to want to do 8 to 12 reps in one set, to do 8 to 12 squats. If you can't do 8 bodyweight squats, then you could hold on to like a chair or a table or something while you do them to assist yourself. And if you can do more than 12 bodyweight squats, then you need to add some weight by either holding some dumbbells or like putting some weights in a bag and putting it on your back. And with that, this FEMBOY tips video is over. This will be my first video of 2025, and I'm planning on uploading a lot more. So do stay tuned, and thank you for watching.